But tell me a little bit about this whole notion around fears, for example, right? We all have the fears, and sometimes those fears prevent us from achieving big things. So, what fears did you have in your childhood or growing up, and how did you overcome them?
Well, you know, I think we've all had fears of failure and fears of rejection, fears of failure, or whatever, right? And I would say the best way to overcome fears is just keep trying things and quit worrying so much. If you look at this concept of fear of failure, we're all going to fail. I fail every day on things. By the way, people ask me, do I have a coach? I have someone call me on the phone every day to try to help me. My name is Marshall Goldsmith. I got ranked the #1 leadership thinker and coach in the whole world. I have someone call me on the phone to help me every day. Somebody said, why? Don't you know the theory about how to change? I wrote the theory. That's why I have someone call me every day. I'm too cowardly and undisciplined to do any of this stuff by myself, right? And I need help. The thing is, just admit you need help and it's okay.
Do you think that a lot of us don't ask for help because we feel that we feel smaller, or what will other people think about us? Do you think that comes in the way?
Yeah, I think we're ashamed to ask for help. We're ashamed to ask for help. If you look at my new book, The Earned Life, look at the names on the people who endorsed the book. Well, these are mega successful people. Guess what? They asked for help. How many of the top 10 tennis players have a coach? 10. Why do they have a coach? Well, you get better, right? We all need help. So I think getting over this stupid macho willpower, I can do it on my own nonsense, is great for everybody. I'm sure you've got crap you've been telling yourself you're going to do for the last 20 years and you haven't done it. You really believe you're going to do it next week? No, you're not going to do it. Just say, my name is Sandeep. I need help and it's okay,
So do you think that the past has no bearing on how people behave and how they will become in the future? What is your thought on that?
I didn't say that. The past is the past. And the past can have a huge bearing if you let it. And if your identity comes from the past, the past will have every bearing. It doesn't have to, though. The only people that cannot change have incurable genetic defects. Now, we'll use you as an example. All right, I want you to pick one thing about yourself that's not so positive that as you go through life, you told yourself, that's just the way I am. Pick one.
Yeah, maybe sometimes I procrastinate.
Okay, well, do you have a genetic defect causing you to procrastinate? No. You don't have some genetic defect. Well, what happens is procrastination's, you just put things off. And if you had somebody kick your ass, you probably wouldn't be so bad at procrastinating. But if you say it's just the way I am, you just won't change.
Yes. But at times, there's also some people.
One thing you need to work on now, this is the third time you've done that. My clients, when I talk, they can't start sentences with but, you see. So this is a bad habit you have. This is the third, but I find them $20 every time they start a sentence with no but or however. So your favorite charity, you owe $60 to your favorite charity now. So I'm going to start finding you more money if you do this.
Got it. Wonderful. I'm not going to lose more money now. And what regrets would you have in your life? Is there something that you'd want to change about your life? What would that be?